Racing on Saturday takes place out at Turffontein, where we've got a 9-race program. Race number 1 is set to get underway at 11:50. The bipod will commence with the running of race number 2. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing? And also, it's been 2 successful meetings up in the IFL with both exotic bets arriving, and we're looking to make it 3 in a row on Saturday.
Yeah, thank goodness, Raheel. Good day to you, good day to all the team. Thankfully, things have started to fall into place at the right time. It's been a long June, but the last 2 meetings have gone very, very nicely. Typical punter/tipster attitude. I wish I tipped to pick 6 because that would have arrived. So I hope that punters that are pick 6 players that got wind of the show and watched the show would have taken all that info on board. But yeah, it's a good time to be informed. I suppose there's no such thing as a bad time to be informed, even when we go through the dry months countrywide of August and September. You'll still be happy to be informed. But let's hope that we can attack this Turffontein meeting on Saturday, a week out from the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, with a little bit of relish. I've got a place accumulator tipped up. Some races are very, very tricky indeed, but there are a couple of bankers on the card. So, it'll be good, exciting racing all the same, despite not having anything of grade 1 caliber running on this card.
Race number 1, 1160 meters the distance. Number 9, your favorite, Stone of Scorn, is a 17-10 market leader. It is 4-1 Chantilly Dream. Sistership is at 11-2. It is then 6-1 and Better Ball Those. Now, I thought that this filly Stone of Scorn was an unlucky loser on debut, and just having a look at that run, I mean, past the line, she was in front of the winner, Palace Dancer, who beat her by a length and a half. I think that she'll go very close. But the first timer that keeps me interested is number 8, Sistership. She's got a very, very speedy pedigree related to Rulership, who's done well, and from the Alec Laird yard. And we know that Alec's first timers can be quite useful on debut.
They can be very dangerous indeed, Rick. I think that this is going to work out to be a very strong maiden, and I'll get to some first-timers in a moment, because including number 8, Sistership, there is a word out about some of the debutants. You spot on as far as if number 9, Stone of Scorn, repeats the first 2 starts. Even the first start, very underappreciated. Look where she was just after the line. She was so green, so wayward, and made up a lot of ground in the closing stages, which she did exactly the same second time out. I know that Palace Prince was coming from exactly the same type of profile, in that she was only a one-time runner, would only run once like Stone of Scorn, but she was just a little bit more, the Palace Prince was just a little bit more battle-hardened, I think, coming out of a maiden run, which was a little bit more forward and showed good maturity. So I think that's what turned over number 9. Gavin Lorena now takes the ride. He's obviously, this battle between Craig, Gavin and Richard, I honestly hope that we get to the 31st of July at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, actually at the Vaal on the 31st of July. I hope that all 3 are there, and I actually hope that they all on sort of hypothetically 270 winners. We really are treated. Gavin's been world class for the last 2 weeks. Craig Zacky's come alive. He had a bit of a quiet month, but now he's certainly come alive again, and Richard's just going to chug away. You know that he's going to be relentless over the last month, so racing fans can enjoy it. I think the engagement of Gavin could be crucial here, and of the race runners, she is definitely the one that they all need to beat. 12 Winterbell, I know, is held in high regard, Raheel. Made a debut at Hollywoodbets Scottsville on warm-up day in the Strelitzia Stakes, where she ran no type of race behind Quickstep Girl. But if you can run 8 lengths behind Quickstep Girl, believe me, she's a massive chance on Hollywoodbets Durbanville. I'm happy to isolate that race to 3 runners, Quickstep Girl, another dance for me, and Sean Terry's Green Diamond. So what I'm getting at is 8 lengths inferior to a high-quality filly on debut with improvements expected in an outside draw. Expect better and expect a nice run from number 12, Winterbell. I wouldn't write off her chances. And then these first-timers, number 3, Chantilly Dream, keep an eye on her. I'm led to believe that the further the better with Chantilly Dream, but nice horse as well. So if she does do her best very late, sneaks into the money, that I think could set her up very favourably. Number 2, Amazonian's well bred. I haven't heard anything about her, but the mayor's produced a few nice horses. Then there's number 8, Sistership, as you mentioned, speed and more speed from this family. The half brother holds the 1,000-metre record at the Vaal, as you mentioned earlier on. So number 8, Sistership, will also be almost elastic-like on debut. And then number 10, Surprise Party, also impeccable, well bred, but she will need further judging by that pedigree and an inside draw, so she could also be hitting her straps late. I think whoever wins could be a very nice horse, and I think whoever runs in behind could be horses to keep an eye on in the future. Out of pure paper, I'm going 9 and 12 with the first timers numbers 3 and 8 that bear watching. But watch the market in this race. There could be some nice ones in here. Even number 13, Winter Wedding, has got a nice forward pedigree, and from that yard, she could be anything first up.
Moving along to race number 2, we'll start off the bipot. Maiden Juvenile Plate, 1160 meters is the distance, 25 past 12 is the off time. Number 8, Detailed Forecast is your favorite, trading at 13 to 10. Number 4, Jabari Timber is at 2 to 1. Number 3 at 3 to 1. It's then 10 to 1 and better bar those. Detailed Forecast ran against winners on debut and not entirely disgraced, beaten 5.5 lengths behind Versace on the track. But what's your thoughts on this race, Alistair? I wouldn't be surprised if one of these first timers, the likes of 3 or 4, were to pop up and make a winning debut.
No, me neither. This is what I know about number 8, Detailed Forecast. On the show 2 weeks ago, I mentioned, obviously she was Antipode's favourite, number 8, Detailed Forecast. Quite a few people asking up, and I was given reliable information that very nice filly, but will come on with a run under the belt and over further. So now the run's under the belt, but going back down the straight over 1160. So what I'm gathering from that is that the team, the Decot team, might think that she's one run away from hitting her strap. But also, with that said, she might have found the right type of field to get out the maidens, because there's very little form to work with bar number 8, Detailed Forecast. And I haven't heard anything sort of earth-shattering about these first-timers, and also the lack of support in the market backs that up. But it won't take much for any of these first-timers to do anything substantial on debut. So as far as the first leg of the bipod is concerned, punters have an opportunity here just to monitor the market and make a judgment after the canter pass of how they want to play it. 8, Detailed Forecast absolutely goes in top choice, and I'm happy to move on and run along with that opinion. But if there is support for others 1, 3, 4 and 5, and I wouldn't get too caught up in the situation of Simango Kamalo riding a horse for Johan and Gavin riding another horse for Johan. I honestly don't think there's any type of preference at the moment. Simango's done a lot of good work and a lot of wins for Johan, whereas obviously Gavin's been in and out the door while he's chasing the championship, so I'm not too sure if there's any dynamics at play there. If there is support for a first timer, put it in with number 8, Detailed Forecast. I think you will need 2 horses in the bipod, maybe even 3, but Detailed Forecast absolute nailed on inclusion.
Yep, 13 to 10 the top choice. Move along to race number 3, start off the place accumulator. 1160 meters, it's a maiden plate, and number 10, Fiery Rose, is your favorite at 4 to 10. Titan off the turf at 22 to 10, it's in 16 to 1 and better bar those. Alistair, it's a race that lacks depth. This filly, Daughter of Fire Away, found one too good last time out in the form of Queen's Pact. I think that now that she's back up in trip to 1160, I think the drop in trip last time out was to her undoing, and she looks very hard to oppose here.
Yeah, the only other horse that strikes her chord is a horse rested 205 days and with steel shoes on, back from a break. Ironic, Raheel, because Fiery Rose finished in front of Stone of Schoon on debut behind Limerick Lace, whereas the Magna horse in the first race runs in what seems like a very strong maiden, and this one has found an unbelievable opening to get the job done, 54.5. So 2-year-old concession and also a filly's allowance. Draw one's not ideal, but she seems to be pacey enough to be able to get across. I don't want to be putting the cart before the horse here, but if she's not a place accumulator and bipod banker, then I don't know. Number 9, Titan on the turf, watch the market for any support. Craig Zaki, an interesting engagement for Tony Peter on that. But he'll have to be of relative ability to turn over number 10, Fiery Rose, on debut, giving her a little bit of weight. So short and sweet, place accumulator, bipod banker. I'll be shocked if she didn't win. Like I said on Monday, you're asking for a little bit of trouble with a horse at prohibitive odds, throwing them into all to comes and doubles and trebles and stuff like that. And that obviously came back to bite those that went with 1 to 5 with Golden Operator during the week. Not my style to do it, but I don't see any issues here with number 10, Fiery Rose. I fully expect her to get the job done.
Moving along to race number 4, start off the pick 6, maiden plate, fillies and mares. 1160 meters is the distance. 13:35 is the off time for the 4th race, and number 13, Wise Counsel, is your 2 to 1 favorite. Number 10, Season's Greetings, is at 3 to 1. 11, Surreal Song, 11 to 2. Number 12, Windsor Silk. There's been a touch of support from 10 to 1 into 7 to 1. It's an 8 to 1 and better bar those. Start off the pick 6. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we were in Durban together when this filly made her debut, Wise Counsel, number 13 on the card. That was at the launch of Race Coast. This daughter of Fire Away, we all kind of looked at each other, you, me, Dees, Bran, we were all in the same vicinity, because Candace had a run at Anchorage. She's come out and run second subsequently behind Constellation. We all kind of looked at each other and said, we wouldn't want to run against the slack horse next time she runs. Well, this is the next time she runs, number 13, Wise Counsel. She hit the line with so much in hand, and like your analogy earlier on, a few starts past the post, she was in front of Constellation, who's held in high regard. Anchorage, who's come out and run second, who's pretty much is a winner in waiting. Safe Travel, Umzumgile, Winyati, all horses have run place, and Nyaku, who was behind Wise Counsel, who was a winner before, come out and run third. I mean, the form lines, although no winners, places all across the board. That run's going to do her a world of good. Extra 160 metres going to do her a world of good. Very hard horse to beat, number 13, Wise Counsel. What I can tell you, though, with all my travels with Gavin Arena all around the country, he thinks number 10, Season's Greetings, is well above average. And if you go back to the last run, since Thursday, that form line sparked up a little bit. Second horse, Mum Lumbo, trotted up. Fourth horse, a bit of class, won in good style just 48 hours before this race meeting on Saturday. So she was the meat in the winning sandwich was number 10, Season's Greetings. So my eye and my idea on number 13, Wise Counsel, of being a filly to follow, I'd still be prepared to make her a place accumulator and bipod banker, but I'm going to take that on board and just include number 10, Season's Greetings, in the pick 6. Obviously, as far as the first timers are concerned, if 11 Surreal Song were to win, or 12 Windsor Silk were to win, or 8 Queensland were to win, then you'd get a free ride through the first race runner home. So from that point of view, the first race runner home isn't 10 or 13. I'd be absolutely shocked. But the first timers, I think, are going to have to be pretty decent to turn over 13, Wise Counsel, and to a lesser extent, number 10, Season's Greetings. Wise Counsel, top choice. I'm going to go with my eye. I'm going to make her the horse that they need to beat in the first leg of the pick 6.
2 horses to play around in race number 4, 10 and 13. Moving along to race number 5 next up. This is an MR 102 handicap. 1,000 meters is the trip. And 10 past 2 is the off time, start of Jackpot 1. Number 4, Rodeo Drive, your favorite at 22-10, who was disappointing last time out as quite a short price favorite at Hollywoodbets Greyville. 4-1, number 1, Cosmic Star. 4-1, Chieftain. 1 Foul Swoop is at 5-1. 11-2 about Sheldon. 6-1, Tropper Veloce. And then you can get double figure odds about numbers 7 and 8. Alistair, is this race quite a competitive contest? What's your thoughts here? What have you done in the PA?
Bank at number 6, Chieftain, in the place accumulator hill. I like his chances, certainly as far as getting into the top 3 are concerned. Whether he's past the post and in the number 1 box, I do have a lot of respect for a couple of other horses. But I think Chieftain could just be better off with that last run under the belt, having needed it. If you go back to the sophomore at the end of 2024, Chieftain finished in front of Rodeo Drive. There was only a head in it, and 5 kilos better off than Rodeo Drive for that performance. I know last time Chieftain was turned over by Halberdier, but we've got to bear in mind it was a 5-month break that the son of Vercingetorix was coming back from. Form to Chocolate Soldier, form to Night Bomber, form to Proceed, although it was a distant memory ago. I think that all stacks up nicely for this horse, and Gavin's on board. I think he's a live chance here, Raheel, and also his record over 1,000 metres speaks volumes. I think anything past that, he just kind of stretches a little bit too much. A lot of speed from the dam side, being out of a trippy mare who sprinted Miss Catalan. Yeah, I like Chieftain. I think that top 3 at worst. Rodeo Drive, look, she's a quality filly. She showed that last season by going close in a grade 1 behind Quid Pro Quo and the Alan Robertson at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Old cliche, you don't lose your ability, you might lose your form. Her last 2 starts were fair. She costed D's and I last time on World Sports Betting KZN Guineas Day when her stable companion, That's Why Baby, turned her over. But she came back with a valid excuse to over-raced and also returned short on that occasion. Worth another chance is number 4, Rodeo Drive. And then the likes of 1 Cosmic Star and 7 Halberdier, all got to be considered as horses that can get into the top 3. But I think Chieftain, that consistency, brushing off the cobwebs last time, all going to serve him well. And he's going to be my final banker, my 3rd banker in a row in the place accumulator, but also my final banker in the PA.
Yep, 4-1 the current price, about number 6 Chieftain in the 5th race. Race number 6 next up. This is an MR 86 handicap. 1,000 meters is the distance. 14.50 is the off time, and number 8 Rafa Bay, 5-2 into 2-1. 7-2 about Hemisphere. 4-1 Bourbon Reserve. It's 6-1 John Wick. 7-1 and Better Balzos. Now, Having a look at this race, Alistair, and this horse, Rafa Bay, I thought was an unlucky loser last time out. He now gets the services of Gavin Larena, which I think could make all the difference. And you did believe that he could run well on local debut, and he did just that. Went third behind Nazare, who happened to win at big odds that day.
Yeah. Thanks to the wife for that one. Rafa Bay, I think he's the horse that they need to beat, but I don't like the race. I'm going to row in with him. I'm willing to give him another chance or two on the back of his Cape form and his rating drop, and willing to say that he would have needed the run, may have gone a little bit too fast last time out. I mean, they're all reasons for him not winning. Do I totally trust him, knowing him from Cape Town? No. He won a decidedly average work riders maiden towards the end of the year at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and even though he maintained a fair level of form, I'd like to believe that running, call it 4 1/4 lengths behind Unbel D is good enough to win a race of this nature and probably win it well. But he's flattered to deceive. I think he's a bit of a tease as number 8, Rafa Bay. So top choice, yes, worth another chance. I mean, all those stack up and they're pretty self-explanatory. But do I absolutely trust him? No. Gavin's down to 55 kilos. He's going to have to be, because he's riding 54 in Africa's Greatest Horse Race. A week later, chatting to him, he's very comfortable at the moment doing his 55 and a half he rode. Then please be true at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Tuesday, 55 and a half. Said he was comfortable doing that, so 55 shouldn't be an issue. The next kilo it looks like it's going to happen naturally. So I think all those points to number 8, Rafa Bay, expected to go well. If he does let the team down again, a few horses come into the picture. I think Bourbon Warrior's miles better than the last run when returning with a respiratory noise. That seems to be the way, unfortunately, with the Son of Water Winter. Respiratory noise or choked up in 80% of his starts. I think there's a racehorse there, but just whether Sean Terry's able to unlock the best about number 2 Bourbon Reserve is just going to be another question. If he does breathe normally, then number 2 Bourbon Reserve, very dangerous horse. And I've got an inkling that number 4 John Wick's going to return to some sort of form. The last 2 runs haven't been all that bad. In fact, the last 3 runs may have been a little bit underwhelming. Ratings come down another pound, time to freshen up. Well, and they're all reasons for him running a competitive race, number 4, John Wick, and if he doesn't either run too badly, I can see him getting into the mix. I wouldn't totally rule off the Werner's horses 6 and 7. I think that they've got to say, and Cunla Gold's waited to go very well with Rafa Bay as well in that last run, or that meeting behind Nazare. But in the P, I'm happy with 2, 4 and 8. In the Pick 6, I wouldn't be happy with only 2, 4 and 8. A couple of others would need to make the grade.
Moving on to race number 7 next up. This is a Fillies and Mares 99 divided handicap over the 1400 meter trip. 25 past 3 is the off time, and number 2 Sota is your favorite at 22 to 10. Miss Hannigan, number 4 at 7 to 2. Number 8 Glamorous Lady is a 4 to 1 shot. 5 to 1 about number 6 Blind Ambition. It's in a 6 to 1 and better balls those. What's your thoughts here, race number 7?
What price is number 7 Famous Lady? I can't believe it hasn't got a mention.
That's 8 to 1.
Oh, no, I like Famous Lady here. I was a short head away from banking her in the place accumulates. I've gone with number 4, Miss Hannigan, as backup, because I think her last run to Soldiers Are running a fair race in the KZN Breeders. She's probably outgunned at feature race level, like in her penultimate start, and also over a mile. I think she just stretches a little bit too much. But 1400, I think it's reliable to put number 4, Miss Hannigan, in. But Famous Lady, the horses that she's run to, Little Ballerina, Simply Majestic, VJ's Angel, these are grade 1, grade 2 winners. Fiery Pegasus, a grade 1 winner. She would have needed her 2 runs back. I thought a fair reintroduction behind Boston Glory, where she would have desperately needed the run back from 9 months off. Last time behind Just Be Lacquer. Just Be Lacquer runs in a grade 1. Whether she's going to be competitive in a grade 1, we shall see. But in that last start, Fastnet Filly, who was touched off at listed level, finished in front of her off level weights. There was Artiste, who ran a good second on Thursday. Serta, who finished just in front of her. And if you go to the collateral form of that start behind Just Be Lacquer, although Serta's got 3 lengths to the spare, Famous Lady's got 3 kilos to work with. And also Craig Zaki, 3rd run after a break and a fitter horse. I'm absolutely convinced that in the David Nievenhuizen race, that Famous Lady finishes in front of Serta. I think the market's got that upside down. And then I've mentioned number 4, Miss Hannigan, just for pure consistency and effort and everything that she puts into the table. So only 2 horses I want to know about in race number 7, to be honest.
Yep, quite a bit of confidence about number 7, Famous Lady. An 8-1 shot taking on the 22-10 favourite. Race number 8 next up, penultimate race on the card, and the 8th race is set to get underway at 4 p.m. 1400 meters the trip, fillies and mares 80 divided handicap. Princess Ilaria, your 2-1 favourite. Number 7 Quantum at 3-1. Boom Boom is a 7-2 shot. Cape Saffron at 4-1, and then it is double figure odds about the balance. Number 5 We Will Rock You is out, so it's a field of 10 runners that remain. Race number 8, Alistair, how many horses here?
Yeah, this is hard. The last 2 races are hard, Rick Hill. 1, 2, and 7, my numbers. Top choice is going to be number 1, Boom Boom. Much like you like us horse earlier on that Craig rides. The indication I got from her last start, the next time she runs, she'll be the horse that I row in with. Not happy with the £3 penalty that she got for being a loser. That stopped many a horse better than Boom Boom. She's not the most reliable coming out of the stall. She can blow it in the starting stall. She's done it a few times, and that's cost her. But if Craig can get her in the race, then she's my idea of the winner, but without much confidence. 2 Princess Ilaria, also punished for being a loser last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, but consistent form, hard to falter, hard to knock her. Draw 1's going to be a huge plus as well for number 2 Princess Ilaria. So I think both Farney's horses are players. And then the frustration of Quantum continues. Samanga Kamal, and I'll get the spin on this Daughter of Ideal World for the first time. Raymond Danielson rides her so well, number 7 Quantum. She's got to be at a market in the type of field where she's ripe for the taking. She's waited to turn the form around Princess Ilaria from a few starts back to an infinite degree. But is she the most genuine around? I have my doubts. I think she's a type of mare. I don't know how much life she's got left as a racehorse. I'm sure she'll make a wonderful brood mare. She's well bred, and from the owners, they'll make sure that every opportunity is given to make her the quality, the best type of brood mare that she can make. But sure, if she gets the job done, I'd be nagging Alec just to keep her going for a little bit longer, because I think that with confidence she'll rack off a couple. Trust her, no, but include her, absolutely, yes.
Yep, that is race number 8, and number 7 Quantum. 1, 2, and 7, 3 horses to play around there. Race number 9, final race on the day. It's an MR70 handicap that is set to be run over the 1160 meter trip. Number 7 Paolo Millions tops the boards at 5-2. Has found a bit of support from 28-10. 7-2 on offer about number 1 in Suin. Number 6 Prize Platinum is at 13-2. Tokyo Medaglia across the bow, number 8 Mariachi Madness, all at 8-1, and then you can get 10-1 and better above the balance. You mentioned races 8 and 9, very, very tricky. Race number 9, the type of race where we could get a horse winning at a bit of a price here.
Oh yeah, this is set up for it, Raheel. 2, 7, 11 are my numbers, so as far as my PA is concerned, I'm not necessarily looking for a big prize winner. I'm just hoping to survive here. 7 Paolo Millions, the horse I'm going to tip on top. Kiratila Kachetti takes her out for Brett Webber. Brett's kept this horse on the boil. This will be his 10th start this year. We're just through halfway stage of 2025. He was all over a winner last time. Then I think the 9-year-old, the rising 10-year-old Jet Cat, got his number right at the end. I mean, these horses just meet time and time again. Look at the collateral form at the bottom of the page. It's a long, lengthy list, so if you're going to sit and work up who's got better weight turnarounds and who finishes in front of who, you'll do a big circle and come up with nothing. So I think you've got to go with gut feel here, and I think the pure consistency of number 7 Paolo Millions is impossible to ignore. So for that point of view, a place accumulator inclusion, like I said, a very ginger top choice. 11 Brechard, if he had a more reliable draw towards the outside, I might have actually led with him. I loved his last run behind Fates of Fortune, Hollywoodbets Greyville, and just knowing from past experiences from all the trainers that go down from altitude down to Durban, yes, you obviously want to go there, you want to win races, but I don't know what it is about the sea breeze. They tend to come back to the Highveld and run a good forward race on return. So he kind of fits the profile, especially off his lowly raising of 52. He's just outside the handicap, unfortunately. He's 1 kilogram under sufferance, or 2 points under sufferance is number 11 Brechard. But I saw enough from him last time out, hitting the line behind Fates of Fortune, totally untapped in KZN with Alison Wright, to suggest that he's a player. And then number 2, Tokyo Medaglia. don't leave him out. Trent Mayhew's on board for Ray Main. They're coming back from a 98-day break. But Rahil, this horse beat War of Kingdoms at his penultimate start. He's not going to beat War of Kingdoms in his life again, I don't think. But that was coming back from a break, and I think this horse runs well fresh. I think he runs well fresh. He definitely runs well fresh. The son of William Longthorpe. I don't think he was disgraced last time straight out the maidens. Back down the straight. I have a bit of respect for number 2, Tokyo Medaglia. I think that he could also sneak into the money and run a fair race.
Yep, that is race number 9. Tricky contest to wrap up proceedings. We're going to move along to the suggested bet, and it is a place accumulator that has been tipped up for racing out at Turffontein on Saturday. It all begins with the running of race number 3 at 1 p.m. And Alistair, take us through that PA.
Yep, 54 Rand per Rahil. I reckon after the first 3 legs we could be returning 2 Rand, but then from there, if we double up somewhere, that'll be a godsend. So, as you say, PA starts at 1 o'clock, race number 3 on the standalone Saturday. Banker 10, Fiery Heroes, by banker number 13, Wise Counsel, by banker number 6, Chieftain, by 2, 4, and 8, Bourbon Reserve, John Wick and Rafa Bow. May have just overplayed that slightly, but then after that, I'm happy with my play. 4 and 7, Miss Hannigan and Famous Lady, by 1, 2, and 7, Boom Boom, Princess Ilaria, and Quantum, and final leg 2, 7, 11, Tokyo Medaglia, Paolo Millions, and Brechot.
That is the place accumulator for racing out at Turffontein on Saturday. Alistair, thanks very much. We obviously, with each passing day, we're getting closer to the Hollywoodbets Durbanville next week, Saturday, and we had the gallops yesterday, which went well. And from the gallops, which horse particularly caught your eye?
Gladiatorian, I thought, Ricky. I thought his gallop was excellent. My attitude towards the gallops is a little bit different to a lot of people. I believe that if you haven't found the winner before the gallops, or haven't got your idea of your pick 6 and quartet inclusions, then the gallops aren't really going to help you. So my whole idea about the gallops is to see that they're there, they're moving nicely, and everything's in place. But as far as well-being is concerned, the best horse that I saw at Hollywoodbets Greyville at the gallops was Double Grand Slam in terms of well-being. But of those running in the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, I thought Gladiatorian, among quite a few. I thought yesterday the trainers were out there to reveal their hand. But that's the name that comes to mind on the back of that question.
Yep, Gladiatorian certainly caught the eye, and we'll have to wait and see whether he sees out the distance. Alistair, thanks very much. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Rahil. Same to you, and we'll spend a lot of time together next week.
Yeah, all the best with racing out at Turffontein on Saturday.